And let's not forget to record on this and not be an idiot. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I work with wire gauge to create all my railings, handholds, and little details I've been doing for my Keratin overlords. I've gotten a lot of questions online, and I hope that this video will help answer some of those questions and walk you through the process. So the materials we're going to need for this are a couple of wire gauges. I've got a thin, I believe this is a 16 gauge. I've got a more robust medium 12 gauge, I think this is. And then a much heavier duty 8 or 10 gauge. I honestly can't remember. You can pick these up at your local art store. They're fairly inexpensive. A roll like this would probably cost about $10 to $15 Canadian. So they're fairly inexpensive to buy. You'll find that they come in a variety of colors. So I have a deeper copper, a medium gold, and then a much brighter gold on this. The coloring itself actually doesn't matter. I find painting these afterwards, the color is largely irrelevant. I just picked up what was available. Oftentimes the coloring is just a coating and the wire itself is silver. And I found that the coating on these wires can sometimes rub off as I'm working them. So they do require some correcting with sanding to touch them up before I paint them. I wish these wires came in just silver, but unfortunately they don't, so we work with what we have. We're also going to need a set of round nose pliers for bending the wire, the ends of this taper. And so the purpose of this is, depending on where you are crimping the wire with, you get a thinner or thicker radius for your turn. This set of clippers also comes with a clipper on the inside, but because it tapers in a V shape where it clips the wire, it doesn't give a clean cut. So I don't like to use the inside of this if I can help it. Instead, I use a pair of old Games Workshop clippers. Now these I've had since I started the hobby 15, 20 years ago, probably close to 20. They've seen better days, but they are really, really good for clipping metal. And so I use them for clipping paper clips when I'm painting and for clipping the wire gauge. And lastly, we're going to need a set of files or sandpaper that is designed to sand down metal. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I did the hand railing, which I use quite often on some of my Keratin champions and Handrail champions, as well as on my gun hauler and ironclad to create handrails, very similar to this. We're also going to use this thinner gauge to create a wrought iron detailing, which I've been using on this terrain piece that I've been working on. So we're going to start by creating this handrail. Now, when you're creating a whole bunch of them, you want them to be identical. So I find it helps to first draw a template, perhaps on a piece of paper, and you can then use that as a guide to help you create all the handrails to the same shape and bend. So we're going to take our wire, and you can see that this is fairly easy to work with, just with your fingers alone. This one, because it's a heavier gauge wire, it's a little trickier to bend. But it's not too difficult. With a bit of effort, you can actually work it pretty easily with just your fingers. We use the pliers for accuracy. Now, because the wire does come on this roll, the first thing we want to do is straighten out the end of it that we're going to be working with. And we can use our fingers to do that. We're then going to use our pliers to create our first bend. And because I want the bend to be fairly sharp, I'm going to use closer to the tip of my pliers. And I'm just going to force it into my L shape. To create our second bend, we're going to use our template and we're going to lay our wire on top of our sketch. Because the pliers have a bit of thickness, we're going to want to grab the wire just before the line of where we want it to bend. And once we have it in place, create our second bend. And that's it. With our shape cut, we're then going to use our pliers and we're going to trim it off the roll. We're then going to trim both sides so that they're fairly even. And we have the wire portion of our handrail. Now to create the trim that this handrail inserts into, we're going to be using some plasticard tubing. You can see that they're hollow on the inside, and this particular one I like using because the inside diameter of this happens to fit the diameter of this wire perfectly without effort. So really all I have to do to create this trim is to cut the desired thickness from this tube. And then we can insert it in, no problem. So to attach this piece, we're going to use a bit of super glue. We're just going to dab it onto the end. And we don't need too much, otherwise we're going to be making a mess because it is such a snug fit. And we're just going to push it in. And we repeat for the other side. And that's that. To get both sides flush and level, we're then going to take our file, and using the long flat end of the file, we're going to sand both sides simultaneously in the same back and forth motion until they're both level. And we want to use a file that will sand metal because some of the brass wire may end up sticking out or has ended up sticking out because of how far we've pushed in the plasticard tubing. The brass wire is a fairly soft material, so this isn't very difficult and it doesn't take too long to sand down. It's actually fairly quick. And that's it. And it doesn't take too long to replicate multiple sets of these to detail my miniatures with. Using this thicker rod is very much the same. And if I'm creating detail that is very similar to this handrail for engines or what have you, it's the same process. It's a matter of using the pliers to bend the wire to the shape I want, clippers to clip, files to file. You may find that because this wire is much heavier duty, it can be harder to get those fine bends. You can straighten it out with your fingers, no problem still. It is still a very malleable material, but you may have to use a little more force when using the pliers to get your bends to happen. To create trim similar to the hand railing, we're still going to use plasticard tubing of a thicker variety. It's still hollow on the inside, but you can find, or you may find that by default, they don't always fit. So in this case, this brass wire is too thick for this thickness of tubing. So what I've done is I've used my pin vise and a Dremel bit that matches the diameter of the wire. And I just drill out the inside. coring out some of the material to widen this diameter so that the tube will now fit into the brass, no problem. To create something a little more complex, like this filigree on my wrought iron gate, the process is fairly similar. We're going to create our template, but we're going to use a thinner wire for this. Now this one is very easy to work with, very easy to bend. So you want to be careful when you're working with it because the slightest bit of pressure will bend the wire, and you may find that once you've gotten a curve, you don't want to then ruin it by squeezing too tightly with your fingers. So we're going to clip a length off that we think is appropriate for our design. And if you're not sure, overestimate. You don't want to go through most of this process to realize that you haven't clipped off enough wire. You can try doing it with the wire still attached to this entire roll, but this will get in the way. And I prefer not to work with that in my hand, so on this route. And so we're just going to start by bending the wire to roughly fit the template that we have. And I'm being very loose and quick with this because I'm going to fine tune with my pliers afterwards. My goal with this process is to start doing the basic shape and to ensure that I have actually clipped off enough wire to create the entire pattern. If you find that you haven't wasted all your time bending the wire, you haven't ruined the wire by bending it, because you might be able to reuse that piece for a smaller design later. Once I'm sure that the wire is long enough, I then go through the process of slowly bending the wire to match my design. I'm alternating back and forth between the pliers and my fingers depending on the part of the design I'm working on. It's more for speed. Yes, dog. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but that happens a lot. He is a nervous Nelly. Fun fact, dogs with anxiety issues are a handful. And you see, all I'm doing is just slowly bending the wire to match the design. This process can be a little slow, a little tedious. You just have to find your zen and really just lose yourself in the process. Once you have the piece matching the design, just use the flat of your finger on a flat surface, and we're just going to press down to flatten the design. And there you go. Because this is a symmetrical design, I can use one side of the template and reverse. We create all the elements and then just use super glue to attach it to whatever we're creating this material for. And that's really all there is to working with the wire gauge. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative, and I hope it answered any of your questions. If you have any further questions that I forgot to cover, just leave a comment below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. That's all for now. Don't forget to follow my Instagram at SirJohnTheHo for daily updates on my hobby content, and like and subscribe this video for more awesome content every week. Until next time, happy hobbying.